There's a real buzz in Broken Hill at the moment with the biennial AGFAIR show, which is held at the racecourse. There's stalls showcasing farming and agricultural equipment, clothing, art and crafts, as well as entertainment and cooking demonstrations. I went along for the good old country catch-up and met Lucy Gale from Pincally Station, north of Broken Hill, who has run off her feet selling her handmade ceramic wares. I caught up with the 20-year-old and asked her about her first event at AGFAIR. What brings you to AGFAIR?
So I have a ceramic business which I run 3 hours north of here on a property called Pincally Station, and I have been making ceramics for 2 years out there. So I wanted to have my first stall, and I thought AGFAIR would be the perfect opportunity to get my small business, Little Wells Australia, out there.
So how did you get into ceramics?
So I went to boarding school near Sydney and I learnt how to do ceramics from year 7. I had a really amazing art teacher and I continued it all through to year 12. I did year 12 and my ceramics was my major work, and then I left school and got a kiln in from Canada. And then that's how I started my business out on the property.
What's special about this kiln that you got it all the way from Canada? Surely we have kilns more locally?
They're very hard to come by, very hard. And if you want a good one, I got a top loader, so that means they open from the top and they're really easy to load and unload if you're a small business. And this one was easy to transport. So I had to get it from Adelaide to the station on a really rough road. So it just worked out perfectly for me, really.
So do you help out at home with the work, or are you just full-time ceramics?
So at the moment, for the last few months, I've been full-time ceramics, and I do the occasional contract muster or water runs for my family. And then again, they also help me with my ceramics, setting up stalls and that sort of thing for me.
And your family's here today helping you, which is lovely to have that support.
Yes, they're running my stall for me right now, so it's very handy.
What's the response been like to your ceramic business?
So when I launched my website last year, I had a crazy amount of views. It was great. I did a drop online, so drops where I just release a collection and never get them back in stock, and they sold out within 2 days, which was really exciting. And then I did my next drop when I was living in Robe, South Australia this year, and that sold out overnight. And I haven't restocked. It's very stressful. But I want to focus on markets this year and get my name out there that way.
When you do a drop, how many pieces are in a drop like?
Up to 200, 250.
Wow.
Yeah. So today at this store I have 280.
Wow. How do you go about managing post out at the station to deliver all these orders?
Yeah, so I recycle old boxes from businesses in Broken Hill. So every couple of weeks I'll go into town, grab all their old boxes and get my own labels and do them up a bit nicer. Just so I'm not buying more cardboard and it gets thrown out in the end. And I bubble wrap everything, parcel it with fragile stickers and breakages lines, and then I travel 3 hours into town once a week to post.
Wow.
Yes.
Where do you get your boxes from? Like, I'm just wondering if people in Broken Hill have boxes that they want to donate. Can they?
Yeah, if they'd like to, definitely. I've been to the Reject Shop, Kmart, supermarket.
You just kind of do a different business.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Great way to use the resources that are here.
Yeah, it's really great actually. It comes in handy because all businesses have too many boxes, it seems.
Yeah. What have you learnt about running a business through building a business?
I've learnt that you have to respond to your clients very quickly because otherwise you never do it. You got to stay up to date on your online social media. that will keep your followers and interests up. I've learned that you really got to be on the ball and have a plan most of the time, but it is a lot of fun and there's a lot of space to learn. So hopefully I'll do that full time next year.
Yeah. And I guess, what do you think it is about, I guess, growing up on a station that's given you that, willingness to just give it a go and put yourself out there and try and make a business out of, ceramics? That's really courageous.
Yeah. Well, my mum is a very creative person, and so is my dad in photography sort of way. Like, he flies a plane when we're mustering and takes really amazing photos, and my mum was studying interior design for a while. So I guess we got brought up with all that creativeness around us, and we were always doing school outside, learning and creating things, building things. So we were really hands-on. And then when we went to boarding school, I chose all the creative, outdoorsy sort of subjects, and really focused on building your own things. And I knew that I wanted to be my own boss, really, and show people what I love.
Yeah. Have you had any kind of media interest about what you're doing?
Yes. I've been asked to do a lot of wholesales for shops around Western Australia, South Australia, New South Wales, Queensland. Most states would like to stock my products, but it would be a lot of preparation. So in the meantime, I have said I would like to do it in the future. But I get a lot of businesses messaging saying we'd love to stock your products, or is there a way you can hold a patent sip at our community? So, yeah.
It sounds like almost that you've got more work than that you can supply.
No, that's what I feel like. Yes, definitely. I would love to eventually have another person helping me with packaging, not so much the making, because you can't teach someone how you hand make something to your way. But definitely help having an extra pair of hands on social media or something.
Yeah, maybe someone in Broken Hill can be your contact for doing all your...
Yeah, that would be great. Yes.
So maybe if someone's listening and they're like, I could do that.
Yeah, no, I would definitely think about having someone running my social media and replying to those inquiries for me. Yeah.
And I understand that you've got an article's about to come out in the Bush Journal about your business.
Yeah. So I did an interview with Ainsley Young, one of their photographers and journalists. She lives on a property 45 minutes from me. So that's just focusing on how I was able to do such a creative business in rural Australia and focus on that. So that's coming out. It should be out this week in post, but it was released a couple weeks ago online. Yeah.
Where do you hope to see yourself in 10 years' time?
I would love to own a couple small shops, like boutique sort of things, but for ceramics. And I'd love to own one, especially in Melbourne or Sydney. So then I can have someone running it, a coffee shop, and just selling my stuff in it. But own that, and then I'd like to have one in Griffith. It's a bigger country town. But yeah, I'd like to have 3 main areas.
Do you see yourself staying on the station?
Eventually I want to be, yes. But I want to open a few stores and that sort of thing as well before I settle down there. Mum and Dad always said we had to go out and do something before we came back, so we've got a few years to do something still.
Lucy, it's so lovely to chat to you today. Was there anything else that you wanted to add before we finish the conversation?
No, not really. Just, message me if you have any inquiries and find me on Instagram at Little Els Australia. It was really nice to talk to you too.